All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about the YouTube app. Now, there are a lot of disadvantages we're figuring out pretty quickly to having a screen ratio of 16 by or 18 by 9. The YouTube app, while Samsung's device does have the ability to crop the screen, zoom in pretty much on YouTube, it's still not making much difference for how the YouTube things play. Now, a huge difference in these is that at least I can play them on the S8, but the audio drops off for some reason. And on the G6, it maintains audio, but it doesn't play anything over 720p 60 frames per second while using 60 frames per second. So it also doesn't play 4K videos for me, well, depending on the video. Like my own videos, and I'm pretty sure it's just the coding that I'm using for the 4K videos, it won't play them. But I've used different sources to record or to drop them onto the 4K for YouTube. And I found that when I upload directly from the G6, any video that I put up, it doesn't produce in 4K, even if it's 4K directly from the phone for some reason. And with the S8, it's kind of the same thing. When I upload, it only goes up to 1080p 60 frames per second. Well, that makes me have to whip out the MacBook Pro or, use one of my Windows devices to edit and drop it into 4K format and get it onto YouTube. However, the last video that I just put up, there's no editing or anything done to it, but I had to put it, I had to get it to 4K. So I used a MacBook to put it up on 4K, and it just doesn't produce right. It'll only play, well, it'll play on this S8. I will give it that. And I'm speaking of the G6 now. The G6 doesn't play anything that's if you have 60 frames per second, and I know you guys can read this on XDA, you can read it everywhere online. It's not your phone, it's YouTube, the YouTube app is just not ready yet. And I can play 2K, 1440p or 2K videos on both of these phones, but it's a mixed bag for both. Like definitely with the G6 more. The G6 just doesn't want to play 60 frames per second videos 1080p anytime. I've got plenty of videos that are 1080p at 60 frames per second, and it only goes to 720p on here. So if you guys have a solution other than OG YouTube, because the reason I don't want to use OG YouTube, I don't want to use an application like that for this, is because it requires me to give my password. It requires me to reveal my password. And I know you guys might say, oh, they can't see it. Once you type your password, your information is being released. And when I saw OG YouTube, it just was asking for too much for me to install it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this off. I don't want to reveal this much information just to watch a video in 4K or 1080p at 60 frames per second. So if you guys have a resolution or you found some kind of fix in the system that might not require root or just anything to help with the G6, definitely leave a comment down below. The G6, just if it's 60 frames per second, once again at 1080p, it won't play. And if it's 4K videos, it's picky about which 4K videos it wants to play. And you can't play a 4K video on here. Most you can go is 2K, which is 1440, and it does play some 2K videos, but for the most part, it doesn't. And I haven't had any problems with audio on this device. Now I started to think something was wrong with my S8, because I was like, wow, why isn't this thing playing audio? But it only plays audio for some things. So I'll start to play a video here, and sometimes it'll play and sometimes it won't play audio. So now it's going to play this audio, but in most cases I've found is when it starts to play the actual video. This is a 4K video, so I should get at least 2K on here.
And the Galaxy S7. The Galaxy S7 came out last year, and
as you can see, I got 1440p at 60 frames per second. It will do it. So now it's playing audio fine, and I can crop this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I can crop it to do like this. So at this point, it's playing the audio. But I have tried this multiple times, and it just didn't want to play the audio. It just would not do it for whatever reason. It just would shut it down. It just wouldn't do it. So I'm going to play YouTube on this device, and that same video you'll notice can't play at 1440, 60 frames per second. So the audio worked that time, but this is all that I get from the G6, 60 frames per second. You know, I don't get it. Well, I understand what's happening is, you know, the G6 is having a lot more problems with YouTube. But that's the problem that I'm having with both of these phones right now. Sometimes this one doesn't play audio, but it'll allow me to play in 2K. And then this one plays audio pretty much all the time on YouTube, but it won't allow me to, it's picky about which videos I can play in 2K. Let me see if I can find another video that I've done in 2K. Here's one. Let's see.
All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's time to compare.
See, same thing. That's a 4K video, and it just won't play it. It won't play it. But over here,
all right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's time to compare.
It'll go all the way up to 2K. But sometimes the audio drops out on the S8. Are you guys having these problems with your S8 or G6, whichever phone you have? Are you having the same type of problem? Is that an issue for you, or you know what's happening with your G6 on YouTube? I know that now I have this is a T-Mobile version of the G6, and this is the AT&T version of the S8, and I've heard that the 870 version is having this same problem with YouTube on G6, but this is their model is 872, I believe it is. So different models or whatever, but let me know if you guys are having the same problems with your G6 or your S8, and let's help each other out in the comments, and let's see if we can get this problem resolved. It's your man Jay Will. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.